Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Brunch Boxing. I am EzRaw. With me today, the greatest boxing show producer in the world, Huey. Huey, how you doing? Can you not hear me, Huey? Huey.
Ezra, did we lose you?
No, I'm right here talking.
Okay. I couldn't hear you. You froze.
Oh, what's going on? I don't know if the see. I don't know if the see. That's where Matt said. He said you might struggle. You might struggle. But I'll just ask you, how you doing today, sir?
I'm doing good. I'm doing good. We are without our lead or usual leader, usual host.
Mm-hmm.
He is off doing some fatherly duties today, but we got it covered. We had a rather kind of slow week in boxing. We got a slow weekend in boxing, but we still got a show for the people today.
Can I say this? Whenever Matt is responsible, like whenever he does something that's responsible, he tries to lose weight, he tries to be a good father, it always hurts the show. I just want to point that out. It's never a positive for the show. People always wonder, like, why are musical artists that I like so selfish? Why are the comedians I like so selfish? Why are actors I like so selfish? Because it's good for the movie, it's good for the comedy act, and it's good for the album. Whenever Matt does something that's responsible, what he should be doing, it hurts the show. I gotta say, I'm just gonna point that out. I'm just gonna point that out. I've been noticing trends here. Now, I did fatherly duty yesterday. I went to Disneyland. I ran around, chased my kid for about, say, I was there from 8 o'clock to 8 to 3. I think 8 to 3 is a perfect window for Disneyland. I got to be honest with you. The people that go from 8 o'clock to 10 o'clock at night, I don't know what the hell you're doing, because the last 7 hours of that is not enjoyable. There's no way. There's no way that's enjoyable, bro. I was beat. I was beat at the end of that. So going another 7 hours, like it's what I imagine when fighters think about when the guys used to go 15 rounds and they're after the 12th round, they're like, there's no way they won 3 more rounds. That's what I imagine it's like when I left Disneyland yesterday. I don't get how people do it. It's not enjoyable. I mean, like I said, I enjoyed myself, but I left at the right time. I left, and honestly, I pushed it probably an hour. I pushed it about 1 hour too much. But I'm a little gassed. I'm a little gassed, but I'm excited for the show today. Huey, you said it's a slow week, not a busy day for boxing, not really a big fight day. But you know what this weekend is, it's like when WrestleMania has like a great main event and they got to put a little bit of something that's going to calm the crowd down before that big main event. That's what this weekend is. Next weekend we got a massive event. This
We do.
weekend we got it's the piss break. You know what I mean? This weekend's a piss break. So that is what it is. There were some big stories I want to talk about. Let's get to it first. Oscar De La Hoya goes to Washington. You had the hearing for the Muhammad Ali revision and all these things, and there was a lot of you had Oscar De La Hoya there, you had Nico Ali Walsh there, and they were there to talk for the fighters and for not changing the Ali Act, right? That's what they were there for. And then you had Nick Khan there, and Nick Khan was there, of course, with Zuffa, with TKO, trying to get the change, push it along. When I saw this, did you see this, Huey? Did you watch any of this?
I did not watch it, but I
Okay.
read some of the stories and some of the clips on the timeline.
The way I would describe this, just like what they say in a fight when there's a bad decision, the scorecards were sent in before the fight. The scorecards for this were sent in before the hearing. This was no one there really wanted any real information on why this was negative. No one there wanted any real information on what would happen to fighters. That's not what they wanted, because they were already pro this thing passing, and they were they were 100%, to me, just friendly with Nick Khan. They were just 100%, begging him to bring WrestleMania to Ohio, which was such a laughable, and which, like, honestly, I'd be embarrassed if I was had voted for the guy that said that. I'd be embarrassed that that's what he used his time. There was nothing on topic, and I mean, is that an open bribe? I mean, what is going on here? The guy literally brings up, like, hey, when are you gonna bring WrestleMania? Oh, we're desperate for it. You think that guy's gonna do anything negative to that company when he's legitimately trying to get them to do business in his state? Like, come on, or his city? It's ridiculous, right? It's a ridiculous thing. Now, I thought that De La Hoya, he gave a good speech, right? And I thought Nick Ali Walsh was great. I thought he gave a great one. I thought that people were saying, "Oh, Nick Khan, he was such a professional. He looked so good in there and everything." I thought, honestly, Nick Khan said a lot of nonsense, a lot of things that can easily be challenged, that could easily be proven why it would not be positive for the fighters. Easily things that would show what the UFC did that was negative for fighters, and fighters paid, the loss of leverage, all these things. He said all these guys are going to get on cards and they're going to be in video games. But it's like, yeah, but the problem is the profit split. That's always been the problem. UFC fighters are on cards, of course, they're on video games, but the split of them and the margins and all that is the biggest problem, and no one questioned that. No one asked him about that. No one said like, "Hey, what are you guys gonna do to, what is it to make sure that the fighter still has leverage? The fighter can still, we don't make sure that it's not a monopoly. We not make sure that there's no competition. We don't make sure that the fighter doesn't have anywhere else to go. So when you guys go to negotiate, or when you guys control the rankings, or when you guys control the bout, that this fighter has a little bit of leverage to actually gain on the money and for the amount of money they make to grow with the business." No one questioned that. They just took everything what he said. And I like it. Was he professional? Sure. Yeah, of course. Was he professional? Did he go out there? Did he have something prepared? And did he read it out? I can't even say the word. So did he read it well? Let's go there. What am I trying to use big words for? But did he read it well? Did he go out there? Yeah, he did all that. But there was a lot. It was a lot of nonsense. Like I said, he was in a safe crowd. He was in front of his crowd. He was in front of people that were pro him doing well in the thing. And that's what I took from it. It was like De La Hoya said, he went in there and he felt like it was all biased. He's right about that. It was 100% biased. They weren't looking for them to make good points. Now, I do want to point out one thing is, there are other boxing promoters. There are other U.S. boxing promoters. There are other U.S. boxing managers. There are other people involved in this business that do have money and do have resources to maybe challenge this a little bit more. But we're not seeing it. I mean, am I wrong there, Huey? Do you see other promoters really getting in front of this? Do you see a lot of people putting a lot of voice and bring a lot of attention to the matter?
No, because I think a lot of the larger promoters that could be in that position that Oscar De La Hoya was in, that Nico Oli Walsh was in, to be testifying in front of them, see that this could actually ultimately be a benefit to them and lead to them making more money. So they don't have any reason to step in the way of it.
100%. 100%. They can let this pass and not be the bad guys for making it pass. They can always go back and blame, well, it wasn't us. That was TKO and Zuffa that pushed that through.
Yep.
And that's 100%. I believe that they see that this is like a chance for them to get full control of boxing, to get full control and not be paying these huge splits to the fighters, not going 80-20 anymore. And there's a avenue there to control boxing, control where the money goes, and control all these events. So that's 100% what I see. And I think that people are a little bit naive when they hear Eddie Hearn talk so negative about it. I think they're a little naive when they hear all these promoters talk about, oh, this, and this. They're not really fighting it. They're okay with it. If it passes, if it doesn't, fine. Business as usual. They're good with that. But if it does, they're ready to go. And this is the one thing that, I know that people say the monopoly and they assume TKO, they assume Zuffa. I'm going to tell you, this isn't a UFC situation. And I've said this before, but this is not a UFC situation where the UFC was the first of its kind, the only one really doing it in that sport, right? MMA was on thing that UFC has so much control of it, right? The people were calling the fighting style UFC for a long time. They weren't calling it MMA. They were saying, oh, he's fighting UFC. This is how much control and how early they got to the market. Zuffa would be getting to the market late. There are people established with very good rosters with star power already in the market. So if these pass, I expect more UBOs to pop out. I expect these guys to form a thing, unless they are foolish about this. But I expect that Zuffa will not be the only UBO, and it's not a guarantee that Zuffa wins that battle. I'm just telling you right now, it's not a guarantee that they win that battle. And they are going to have competition, and they're going to have competition against rosters that are stronger than theirs. Yeah, I mean, you go going heads up against Shakur Haney, Ryan Garcia. You're going to get Boots, all these names, right? Fondora, all these names, and you have Hitchens and Berlanga and Conor Benn. I'm sorry. You do not have the advantage there. You do not have the advantage there. So I am very curious because this will pass. This is the spoiler alert now. That this will pass. UBOs will be allowed. And I'm curious to see how these guys, these promotions, if they're smart enough to say, hey, we can get together here. And this is what would be the best outcome for the fighters, is a competition on saying, hey, we could get together here, bring these keep all our fighters in here, and make something that we could build upon where it's like a league. And the best thing would be for the fighters is a competition between these UBOs, where you got guys like Conor Benn getting paid good money. You got guys like Berlanga able to get good money. And then you got the other guys, and you heard them having to overpay these guys to keep them on their side. That'd be the best outcome for the fighters as far as like financially. But I do not think that it's a guarantee this passes that Zuffa wins it all. I don't think that. But I do think UBOs are going to pass. I think the UBOs are the future of boxing.
Yeah, definitely going to have more promotions coming up with UBOs once this passes. Top Rank already has the infrastructure. They have the gym. They have everything that's, kind of required of those extra assets. I think MVP is going to create one for women.
Yes.
You saw Jake speaking on was it Theo Vaughn's podcast a few weeks ago, where he was talking about working with Zuffa potentially in the future, merging his women's roster with their roster that they have currently on the men's side of things, and creating a product that way, similar to what UFC has, and trying to grow the option there. But no, UBOs are going to pass. There wasn't a lot of opposition to it as far as coming from promoters, fighters. I mean, we only saw 2 people there at the hearings, and the people, the Senate, the House representatives that were there weren't there to hear anything other than Nick Khan.
Yeah, 100%, 100%. And the reason why De La Hoya is there is, De La Hoya is on the smaller end of a promotion. He's the kind of guy that would probably feel a lot of he would feel this more than other promotions. And like I said, he would be kind of at the whim of another UBO. He would have to almost join forces with another promotion to get the UBO going, right? So that's why he has a lot of pushback on it, right? Because this is going to be a battle of people with a lot of revenue sources. Like, that's what this is. This is going to be a battle of people with revenue sources. This is like NBA franchise. That's what this is. This is people that can put money in are going to control it. So that Zuffa has TKO. That's a big revenue source, all right? They already have a lot of money behind it. Now, let's see what the other promotions do. I think that a lot of the things of what that TNT deal is, I thought were very telling, where it's like all the promotions put together, putting cards together, on TNT. I think that DAZN having all the promotions like that, I think there's something there. I think that they're making a move for something. Everybody was very vague on what their deal was. How many fights is it? What is it going to be? And I think that there's something coming down the pipeline. At least I hope these guys have the mind for it, because like I said, if you don't, then you will lose. The UBO is the future. Someone controlling this is going to be the future. That's just the way it's going to go. You're not going to do business as usual and beat this. You won't. You won't. And they know that. Basically what this is, and I thought one of the best things that Nico Ollie Walsh said is, if you pass this, take my grandfather's name off of it. And he's 100% right, because what the UBO is it basically kills everything else. You can't say, oh, we allow everything else, but we also allow a thing that allows you to break every rule that thing that thing puts on promoters, managers, and fighters. Well, then it eliminates the thing. It's ridiculous. It's a ridiculous concept, and everybody knows it. But that's what it is.
Right, and then now I do have we have a couple guests here. We got a full house, actually. We got everyone from Brunch Boxing. Matt, bringing in our founder, our fearless leader. What do you got to say about Oscar going to Washington and the likely passing of the Muhammad Ali amendment?
Well, a couple things. First of all, I was very disappointed with the boxing and MMA media reaction when it came to Nick Khan. It seemed like a lot of dick sucking. That's the best way I could put it. Oh, Nick Khan, look how prepared he is. Oh, he was so great. Actually, Nick Khan wasn't great at all. He was just in front of an audience who didn't know shit.
Yeah,
because if he was in front of someone like me or like EzRaw, we would ask the right questions.
Yeah.
Okay. The only thing that Nick Khan really did in front of the Senate was tell them all the ways that Zuffa's going to make money in boxing.
yes, exactly, 100%.
Hey, we're a great business.
Yeah.
We're going to drive this. We do this. He didn't say shit about how all this is going to benefit the fighters, and people were just eating it up. Wow, well, that's a guy who could really make money. Because let's be honest, this is a bootlicking society.
Mm-hmm.
It's always been a bootlicking society. Yep. You guys just want to be on the winning team. You guys want to be on the team of the corporations that's making money. We just saw one of the worst day one WrestleManias of all time, salvaged by a great day two, but it was an uneven WrestleMania, the biggest event in WWE. And why was it uneven? Because TKO, Ari Emanuel, Nick Khan decided to use their creative control powers to change what was originally planned, okay? And then after this big WrestleMania where WWE and TKO made money hand over fist, what did we see after that, EzRaw? They fucking released so many different wrestlers, okay? They released Bo Dallas, who is the brother of Bray Wyatt, one of their talent, who died while he was on the roster just last year. They released it. They released his brother. They were supposed to be carrying on the Bray Wyatt legacy with the Wyatt Six, and they relit the lantern and stuff like that. But I guess now that they were able to put Bray Wyatt in the Hall of Fame last year, and they were able to cash in on Bray Wyatt's death, hey, Bo Dallas, get that son of a bitch off the field. All of a sudden, he's expendable, and they released the entire Wyatt Six. Okay, they released a wife and husband duo, Aleister Black and Zelina Vega. Zelina Vega, who every fucking year the WWE tries to capitalize on her father dying in 9/11, and they talk about it every fucking year when they bring up 9/11. But hey, Zelina Vega, we have no more use for you. Get the fuck out of here. You know, Alba Fire, who at Clash at the Castle in fucking what was it, Glasgow in Scotland, her mother died in a car accident 3 days before the event, and WWE had her work the event so they could cash in on the emotional tears of her family. And they had such a great moment. Oh, look, we just put the tag titles on her. Look at this great moment. Look what WWE is doing. Oh, did you guys know her mother just died in a car accident 3 days earlier? Guess who got released? Alba Fire. You know, so this is what we have when you have a soulless corporation taking over any entity that the public is passionate about. Believe it or not, the public is passionate about wrestling. I'm passionate about wrestling. I've watched wrestling for my entire fucking life. Okay, I've watched boxing for damn near my entire life, and now you have this soulless corporation that's just telling you all the different ways they're gonna make money. Well, guess what? They're gonna make money off the blood, sweat, tears, and of the fighters. That's what they're gonna do. They're gonna be disposable. That and it is what it is. If that's what the people want, that's what the people will get. But what I will say is that the fighter, the courageous warriors who put their lives on the line in the ring every time they step through the ropes, they're the biggest cowards of them all. They're the ones who are not speaking out in droves. Yeah, we heard from David Benavidez. We've heard from Ryan Garcia. But where are the Canelo Alvarez's of the world? Where are the Shakur Stevensons of the world? Where are the Devin Haney's? Where are these guys? Why aren't they marching on Washington with Oscar De La Hoya? Why is it only Oscar De La Hoya and Nico Ali Walsh fighting the good fight for the good of the sport of boxing? I think it's very short-sighted and it's very selfish because these guys, with the Saudi investment in boxing, they don't want to upset the apple cart. They want to cash out on these big Saudi paydays and get the fuck out of the sport. But guess what? The 9-year-old and 10-year-old and 12-year-old that's boxing right now, they're going to be the ones that get screwed over by this. No one's thinking about the future of the sport. You know, for many years, you have guys that complain that boxing, I think Dana White said this, boxing is a going out of business sale. Everything must go. Everyone's trying to get what they want. Well, guess what? That's what they're doing now. Everyone's trying to get it while the getting is good, and they're not caring about the future of the sport. You have someone like Lou DiBella who said he couldn't be bothered to speak out against the bill because boxers put themselves in this position after all these years. Boxing is so terrible, blah, 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 blah. No, Lou DiBella. The reason why you can't be bothered to speak up about the good of boxing is because you don't make money in boxing anymore. You don't make money in boxing anymore. So it doesn't benefit you to speak up. You don't give a shit anymore. You already sold most of your fighters to fucking MVP. You already made the money off their contracts. You sold Sharetta Metcalf to MVP. Okay? You sold Shanika Johnson to MVP. You sold Mio Yoshida to another entity. So what the fuck do you care, Lou DiBella? You're not making money off this shit anymore. But you know what that tells me? That tells me that all that bullshit that you've been talking about is you never really had love for boxing like you claim that you did. You never really cared about the good of the sport. You were never a good steward to guide the ship of boxing, because when it's time to step up, you can't be bothered anymore. All you care about is your fucking flying squirrel minor league team. You don't care anymore. And that's just where we're at with it. The people who can't make money in boxing anymore, they don't give a shit. The people that are make money in boxing, they don't want to upset the turkey out of Sheik apple cart because he's giving out the big paydays. So that's where we're at. We're in a sport where from the top to the bottom, the promoters, the fighters, they're all fucking cowards, except for a select few. And unfortunately, that select few, hey guys, you're playing a rigged game. But I will warn the boxing public. I will warn the boxers. I will warn the shareholders of boxing. Boxing is not a perfect sport. Boxing does have its issues with everyone puts to the section of bodies and this and that. Yeah, boxing has its issues. You know what I compare this Ali Revival Act to? I compare this to the crime bill that the black community, the National Black Caucus, everybody in the black community supported this crime bill because crime was so bad in our communities that we couldn't go anywhere. We couldn't do anything. It was just that, like, people were dying left and right. Drugs were ravaging the community. So we supported this crime bill, okay? But guess what? There were a lot of unintended consequences of this crime bill that ravaged and destroyed our communities for generations more than any drug or crime or murder could. And that's what you're going to see with boxing. You're going to see these guys use this Revival Act to destroy the entire boxing ecosystem to the point where it's not going to be an enjoyable sport for the masses. It's just not going to be. It's going to turn into what UFC is now, which is the best guy willing to accept Dana White's offer versus the next best guy willing to accept Dana White's offer. You're not going to get the best versus the best in the closed system because it's not possible in the closed system. And you're not going to get the best athletes that you can compete in because the money is not going to be what it was. So if I'm trying to come up out of poverty, like, because boxing has always been a poor man's sport. If I'm trying to come up out of poverty and I'm thinking I can make money beyond my wildest dreams, I'm not going to get into boxing anymore because the money's just not going to be there anymore. Okay? So you're going to end up with a bunch of imposters. You're going to end up with the best of Dagestan. You're going to end up with the best of You're going to end up with the best of Eurasia and Europe dominating boxing. And you're going to think those guys are the best when they really aren't the best. They really aren't the best. They're just the best guys willing to fight for peanuts. And that's what's going to be the unintended consequences of this bill. Thank you.
Well said, Matt. Yeah, that's the thing that's like funny is like the Ollie Act was to protect the fighters, but the case that they make for changing it is only for the business. It's not for the fighters. It's just only for the business, right? And it's funny to me that was never challenged. No one ever said, "Hey, you're bringing a lot of stuff up exactly about the business," like Matt said. But what is that the fighters are lacking now? What these paydays the fighters are lacking now? What is this going to do that changes that? Because there's no way that you can look at the top fighters and say, oh yeah, their pay is going to stay the same or increase under this new thing. It's like, no, it's not. And that's clear as day. Yeah, that's just, like I said, the scorecards were in before the hearing, and it's coming, and we're going to see how it all plays out.
Before we move on, Mike, did you have anything that you wanted to add on the Ali Act amendment, or were you here for the first topic in the rundown?
No, what EzRaw hit it right now is this is boxing, and sometimes the scorecards are already in before you even know it. And the scorecards were in on this. I'm totally okay with what they're doing because they're gonna fail because they don't know how to run boxing. So it's only a matter of time. And I get what Matt's saying too. Of course, Matt said a little bit better, but these guys, that you can't be allowed to waste that much money and continue. At some point, they're going to be like, "Hey, like now you can't do that no." So I just they're not making money now. I don't see how they're going to be making money later. They're not very good at running the sport. That includes Dana White.
Yeah, absolutely. Ezra, do you have
Yeah.
anything to put a button on this, or do you want to
Well,
move on to
before
the
you
next
guys move on, I just want to send a message to my boxing combat sport colleagues, journalists out there. For those of you who are poo-pooing Oscar De La Hoya, oh, he didn't elecute himself so well. He wasn't as prepared as Nick Khan. Hey, guys, Oscar De La Hoya is the only one standing up, and he is the one that's fighting the good fight, and he did what he was supposed to do. It is very easy to criticize from the sidelines than to get into the fight yourself. So I'll just leave it at that.
Yeah, I thought De La Hoya's points were perfect. I mean, I don't know, I don't know what they want from him, but he said exactly what the flaws of this were. I mean, I thought that.
They wanted a Harvard dissertation from fucking Oscar De La Hoya.
Yeah. No,
fucking nerds.
He gave the truth what it was. You know what I mean? That's how people get conned, right? Because this guy's just saying stuff that saying these words, and this is coming out smooth and all that, and then you just buy everything you think. It's like, hey, the other guy just said exactly what was the issue, and that was 100%. Nico Ali Walsh said exactly what was the issue, and that was 100%. But no one was, like I saying, it was falling on deaf ears. No one was trying to hear it. It was all a joke. They rang a bell when De La Hoya was talking and stuff like that, like if he was a fighter. It was all a joke. They just were there. They took pictures with them, and that was it. They were not there to hear anything that they had to say.
Yeah, they were there to support their friends and their business, and that was about it.
Yes.
All right, so moving on here, one of the big pieces of news we got this week, or I guess...
I don't want to interrupt you, Huey, but your sound is very low, and Ezra's clearly not going to say anything.
All right, is that better?
It sounded all right to me, but all right.
Because you're an idiot. You don't have a good ear, but it sounds far away.
What's going on here?
All right. This should be better now. So one of the bigger pieces of news, and something we've heard about for a few months now here, is Errol Spence Jr.'s return against Tim Tszyu is now tabbed for July 26th in Australia. That's going to be almost 3 years since he's been out of the ring. What do we think about this matchup, and what do you think about him going to Australia to return to the ring?
You want to go first on this, Matt? All right. I guess he's not.
Nah, you cook.
All right. I gotta tell you, I'm a little surprised. I'm a little surprised that this is gonna be in Australia. Errol Spence is one of the big stars of boxing. Like, maybe people forgot, maybe people think it's diminished, but Errol Spence has always been a proven commodity in boxing. So I thought when I heard the rumors that this might be in Australia and all that, I kind of didn't take it seriously because I thought, no, this fight will be in Texas. Like, that fight's going to do numbers in Texas. It's comeback. It's against an opponent people recognize. It's against a good opponent, in my opinion. So I'm very surprised it's going to be in Australia. I do like this fight because it's a crossroads fight. It's a gulag fight, honestly, as far as like the main picture, right? Like, if Errol Spence loses this fight, I don't imagine we ever see Errol Spence again. If Tim Tszyu loses this fight, we're never going to see him in like a main fight again. He's eliminated from the picture. And now we're going to this fight, and Tim Tszyu's going to have another trainer switch, which to me, I have the signs of the end. That is a sign of the end. When you keep blaming your trainers because you're not feeling right mentally, you don't feel like you're operating the way you should, or something's missing, something's lacking, you don't feel confident, that is a sign of the end of your career. You're looking for something that is just solely on you. You're blaming everybody else. It has to be somebody else because it's a mental state, right? It's a mental state that no one's training me correctly, or no one's preparing me correctly for these fights. I don't think that's a good sign going into this fight. Errol Spence, he also has a trainer change. It's not because of that reason. It's just because, there was a financial reason for that change. But we're going to see what he looks like with a new trainer. I think it's a really good fight. I think it's a really interesting fight. If you write this on paper and you build this up, this is a very interesting fight that means a lot for both of their careers. And I think that the style-wise meshes pretty damn well as well. So I like this fight. If Errol Spence looks great in this fight, then we have a star back that can be in some big fights with like a Fundora, a Charlo, Virgil, Boots, all those guys. He'll be in a good mix of a lot of good fighters. And if Tszyu gets back and wins that fight, he's still named that he couldn't be matched up with those guys. He's still to me I want to say a really good B-side, but he's bringing Errol Spence to Australia. So, he can sell in Australia. So we're going to see there. But I like the matchup. What do you think, Matt?
I think it's an excellent matchup. Like you said, it's a gulag fight, but
Mhm.
I will tell you this. I did see some people complaining that Errol Spence is going to Australia. Oh, PBC, why are you doing this? But bro, if Errol Spence goes to Australia and beats Tim Tszyu in a huge event, because it will be a huge event, trust me, they're gonna do tens of thousands of tickets, and they're gonna sell some damn pay-per-view. If he go over there and beat Tim Tszyu, do you know how huge that would make his first United States comeback fight? Like, what are people even talking about, dude? Like, this is a huge event. It's a big deal. With the way Tim Tszyu looked at his last fight, people think Errol Spence, might be able to beat him. This is what's best for boxing right now. Errol Spence versus Tim Tszyu. And then you saw Jamel Charlo calling out the winner of Spence versus Tszyu. Jamel Charlo claims he's going to be fighting Fedora. We'll get to that in a bit. But what I will say, Errol Spence, big game hunting. He ain't lying when he say no tune-ups, because this is a big deal. Well, whatever you think about Tim Tszyu, he is still a viable championship contender. Now, if he loses, goodbye. If Errol Spence loses, goodbye. Perfect kind of fight, and the kind of fight that I'm interested in.
Now, question, and maybe maybe I'm wrong on this. Because it's in Australia, I feel like the undercard is not going to be great. Am I right to assume that?
It depends on if PBC and No Limit will collaborate on a few fights. If PBC just lets No Limit run the undercard, you're gonna be right.
Yeah.
But if they collaborate with No Limit on the undercard, then you're gonna be wrong.
Okay.
And the most important thing about this fight is that it's going to be primetime Saturday night in the
Yes.
U.S.
Yeah, that's smart. That's a
So,
smart move about it.
yeah, that's smart. That is very, very smart. So they're gonna maximize the eyeballs. So if I'm PBC, I might throw a couple of my guys on this undercard and send them to Australia.
Yeah, I'm trying to. I'm not too familiar with Australia's the no limits roster, so I don't know what matchups they can be made. But I hope they get a little creative here, because we know the main event's the one selling the fight, so they don't have to get that creative with the undercard. But I hope they do.
No, and yeah, Tim Tszyu selling that fight in Australia. That's why it's there. They'll be able to put some other Australian names that people like regionally, but as far as like a worldwide and an entertaining card that people care about, the only thing people care about is going to be the main event in that card.
Mike, you are a big fight guy. You love an event. Does this do it for you?
Yeah, I would be outside for this one if it was in the States. You know
Okay.
Okay.
I'd be outside. My the one thing you guys brought up in a little off topic is if I'm a fighter, and I'm working my way up, these are the kind of cards I would want to be part of, even if I had to take a little pay cut or whatever.
Yeah.
Just because the eyes that are going to be there.
Mhm.
Ezra, why don't fighters get that?
There's no long-term investing, I realize, in fighters. They don't see like, hey, I gotta, I might have to, like, you're right, like take a sacrifice now, but it's a big chance to get a big boost in my career. I don't see a lot of guys who are seeing that. It's a very short-term thought frame, and maybe I think because a lot of guys, and I'm gonna be honest with you, don't truly know how good they are, or don't truly believe how good they are, right? So they're trying to get as much as they can now because they're afraid they might lose, or they're afraid they might do this. And I think that that's why when you see a guy that really believes in himself and is proven at level, then you can really buy into him, right? Because you're like, oh, this guy's not afraid to lose. He's not afraid to take some chances to get the thing. And that you're right about that, Mike. Some guys need to say, hey, I just need to get in front of people. I need to get in front of eyeballs because it's gonna boost my career in a major way. And it'll speed up my rise.
Also, Ezra, you motivated me. I'm doing the show in the garage right now. It's like, you know what? If Ezra can be out there in the garage, I can be out there in the garage.
Listen, your favorite bands started in a garage. I'll tell you that right now. Your acts that perform in front of millions, they all started in a garage. There's something about a garage. It's just something I feel about it, right? It just feels like you're getting down to basics. No nonsense. When Rocky had to come back, right? He was training at the fancy gym and people were seeing him train. He was signing autographs in between rounds, stuff like that. What did he do? He had to get back into a garage, get back to an ugly gym where it was you smell the dust, you smell the dirt, you smell the thing, and you just feel motivated by it. That's where I'm at right now. That's where you're at, Mike. And you know what? I can see you perform at another level.
So a couple of interesting fighters that No Limit Boxing has.
Okay.
They have the middleweight Andre Mikhailovich, the dude who fought Janibek.
Okay. All right. He's
And
all right.
they also have Sam Goodman.
Goodman's good.
Yeah. If I'm them, this is just me.
Okay.
I would try to match Landy Lara with Mikhailovich.
Yeah.
And I would try to match Gary Antonio Russell with Sam Goodman.
That's a good spot for Gary.
Yeah, that's what I would do. But
is there
the fuck do I
anyone
know?
more interesting than Landy Lara that PBC has at 160 that they could put in that fight? Maybe someone that has more of a future.
Well, I was
Yo-Yo?
thinking Jesus Ramos.
Yo-Yo.
No. Yo-Yo
I like
Diablo.
Yo-Yo. I like Yo-Yo on that.
Yo-Yo
a
Diablo.
lot of eyes for him being under on the Errol Spence undercard.
All right.
We got Cassius in the comments saying Yo-Yo as well. He also mentioned that there were some interesting guys that No Limit had, and good spots to build up some guys like you're mentioning here.
Yeah, and No Limit got some heavyweights. Please put Big Goog back on this card.
I was thinking Big Goog.
I like Big Goog.
On the card.
I like Big Goog, man.
He's their new token heavyweight that they put on cards when they need something entertaining.
Yeah.
All right. Any other thoughts on Errol Spence versus Tim Tszyu this summer?
No, I
have a question for Ezra.
Yo.
Have you left your "I'll see it when I believe it" phase, and do you actually believe that Errol Spence is indeed coming back now?
I believe it.
Let's go.
I believe it.
Let's go.
I'll tell you right now. I tell you this right now. I think people are selling too much stock in Errol Spence. I'm just telling you something. Yeah, he lost to Crawford, but you know what? He's always looked decent before that, and I think he's gonna look good in this fight too. One thing too is like, I don't like the signs of Tszyu. I don't like all these things I'm seeing from Tszyu. I think there's a lack of confidence there. There's a lack of self-belief a little bit, and they're trying to figure it out. And on the fly, going to Spence, I think Spence might look really good in this fight.
All right, next up on the board here, Devin Haney appears to be stuck without an opponent after Shakur Stevenson exposes the fake negotiations. We've also heard that Eddie Hearn is not interested in that fight. Do you think? What do you think Devin Haney? What do you think he should do next? I want to leave this open. I don't want to give you a closed-ended question.
No, he made one of the big mistakes that I don't see Haney make. Like the team has not made. The Rolly fight was there. I didn't think that Rolly fight would even be possible. I didn't think Rolly would want that fight. But Rolly's the one that wants the fight, and he doesn't. And they want some massive payday that isn't there no more. And I'm gonna tell you right now. Listen, hey, Live Golf is done. I'm telling you right now, Live Golf, which was a lot of money back. It was a lot of big names that won over there. It's done. And if you don't see what's going on, there's a lot of cuts here and there on some spending coming from the Middle East. I'm telling you right now, he's waiting on a payday. He's waiting for Turkey to come and save him with some massive payday for some fight or whatever. He should have took that Rolly fight. That Rolly fight I didn't think it would be possible for him. It would have been a big fight. It would have been a fight that got a lot of attention. It would have been in the States. It would have Rolly trash talking. You would have Rolly coming off a Ryan win. Like it would have did all these things to just boost his career and boost these things. And he just didn't see it. Like he just didn't see the vision. And it was just not like Haney's team.
And he would have made a lot of money.
Would have made a lot of money. And it's just not like his team to do this. And I got to be honest with you. Like, I may Matt don't agree with me, but I think that's such an easy fight for him, too. I think it's such an easy fight for him.
Shut the fuck up.
I think it's such an easy fight for him. And he doesn't take the fight. It's just so stunning to me. It's the most stunning decision. It's probably one of the most stunning business decisions a fighter has made this year. I don't get it. I'm going to challenge you, Matt, but I think that I don't know what the hell's going on. I don't know what the hell's going on with that team. But I'll just tell you right now, I don't see another fight coming. I don't see an obvious one coming. I don't see it because It don't look to me. It seems to me like Ryan is not too eager to get back in that rematch with Haney. It doesn't look to me like he's like, oh, let's run that. So they're in a weird spot. They're in a very strange spot because if Ryan don't want that fight, then that's the fight kind of that Haney was kind of going after, chasing. That's the fight that made a lot of sense to make a lot of money for his career. And it just seems to me like Ryan's kind of wants some easy ones. He wants a Conor Ben fight. He wants some big names that are easy opponents. You know what I mean? Going down the Mario.
No. Don't say that. Don't say that.
Let me just say something. When you're begging for a Conor Ben fight, it's pretty obvious to me. Like the thing is that Ryan, I know Ryan isn't the smartest guy, but he knows boxing. He knows who's tough and who's not. Everybody knows what Conor Ben is. Everybody knows what Conor Ben is. So to me, they want that fight, and you're begging for that fight. It's like, come on, you know what I mean? Like the whole thing.
He's not begging for that fight, bro.
Kind of is. When I heard him, he kind of was.
And not only that. Hey, I hate to break it to you, Conor Ben fight's not happening.
Okay, no, I know it's not. But what I'm saying is that this guy, that's the fight he's bringing up over and over again. I don't know. I don't think that Ryan.
The fight that Ryan Garcia brought up was Teofimo Lopez. He claimed he was fighting Teofimo Lopez.
Yeah, but then he
out of his mouth.
Yeah, he just backed away from that. He said Teofimo was not happening. He said, I'm fighting Conor Ben. I'm trying to fight Conor Ben. He just said that.
That's not happening, bro.
I know it's not happening, but what I'm saying is this guy's mentality is somewhere else too. I think Haney screwed up here. I just think Haney screwed up royally. I don't know what fight's going to come up for him. I don't know what fight even makes sense for him more than Rolly Romero, but I don't think it's happening.
Yeah, I agree with that. I think he screwed up. But what I will say is this. He needs to circle back to the Rolly Romero fight.
Yes, he does.
He needs to humble himself, go hat in hand to PBC, and say, you know what? Let's make the fucking fight happen.
And like let's say, right, like okay, you get this deal, and we get the business. Do good business, right, with PBC, right? And let's say that Haney, who's he's a big guy, he can move up in weight, and if he's really desperate for an opponent, no one will fight him. He go 154. I mean, him and Fundora. I mean, like I'm saying that there's options there to keep going with this. I don't get it. I just don't get the vision, but we'll see how it plays out. The one thing is
and I have it on very good authority that PBC would be interested in Devin Haney beyond just one fight.
Of course, why not? Right now, why not? The dude's a talent. He I don't know, like he's not always a hit when it comes to pay-per-view sales, but he has people talking. People are familiar with Devin Haney. He's got history with fighters, and there's big fights to be made. I just don't get it. But who knows? I think that these fighters reliant on Turkey to come and save them. I don't think it's coming as often as it used to. I don't think it's coming back as often as it used to.
Yeah. Well, we'll see what happens. Ultimately, I think he kind of made a mistake here. I thought it was very interesting that they attempted to use another boxing platform as a way to keep their name in the news by mentioning, hey, oh yeah, we're fighting Shakur Stevenson next, and it's gonna be on Zuffa. Shakur said, I don't know what the fuck this guy's talking about.
Yeah, man, I don't know. I'll tell you right now, anyone that's saying the two fighters that are not signed with Zuffa, they're going to sign some big fight with Zuffa, you can throw that nonsense out. I'm sorry. You can throw that nonsense out right now. You can throw that nonsense out. Unless they're signed some 6-fight deal with Zuffa, like Berlanga and Hitchens, there's not suddenly some two superstars just going to appear on a Zuffa fight. They're going to fight at the main event. I'm sorry. That's just not happening. Let's start throwing those rumors away now.
Mike, do you have anything to add on Devin Haney before we move on to the next topic?
Nah, I don't feel bad for him. He's whatever your values down. Could take the job you can get and move on.
Yeah, people were excited and looking forward to the Rolly fight. I don't know if excited is the right word, but it had buzz. People were talking about it. He should have moved forward with that. It would have been a good event. And now if he has to circle back, it's just going to be a bad look for him. And I don't think he's going to get as good of an offer as he did the first time around. Ezra, this next topic is about your guy. Janibek Alim-Kanuli expects the WBO suspension to be lifted. What are your thoughts?
It's embarrassing. It's a shame. There's no reason not to take steroids in boxing. I gotta tell you that right now. There's nothing. Stop and take whatever the hell you want. You will be forgiven. If a guy like Janibek, who doesn't sell a damn thing, could get away with this, anyone could get away with it. Take steroids. It's really, honestly, it's stupid not to at this point. It's stupid not to take steroids in this sport. But yeah, it's dumb. I don't get it. You know, he's an easy to me. I know Matt says there's other things in play here, but to me, he's an easy guy to punish. He's an easy guy to make an example of, and they didn't do it. They said, nah. We ain't doing it. He could keep the belt on one organization. They probably lift the suspension on another. Yeah, man, I don't get it. I don't know. To me, like how good ever I think Janibek is, I lost faith in this guy's career. I lost faith in it going anywhere. And I think that was his shot to do something. That was his shot against Lara to really kind of make a name for himself, to make a statement, to get the ball rolling on some other things. And he didn't do it. And I just lost interest in the guy's career, and I think it's really foolish of these sanction bodies not to just really lay the book, throw the book at him. I think they should have threw the book at him. And I thought they should have made an example of him. Someone's got to be made an example of. Someone's got to be made an example of, so they don't do this anymore. But it doesn't seem to be the case.
I don't think it's a coincidence that in the biggest fight of his career, he tests positive. Not a coincidence.
Fair to say.
Free Janibek.
Who has been punished really from taking steroids? Like, who has really legitimately been punished in boxing for taking steroids?
Canelo Alvarez.
Ryan Garcia.
Ryan got punished.
Okay, Ryan Garcia. Conor Benn, I guess. I mean, he was fighting in Florida somehow, so I don't know what was happening there.
Yeah, that's a gray area. He was punished by UCAD, but not punished by boxing.
No. That's not true. That's not true. What happened with Conor Benn is he had his suspension lifted while he was appealing it. So while it was lifted, he was able to fight. And then when they put the suspension down again, he wasn't able to fight. They kept lifting it and then reinstating it, and then because he kept going back and forth with UCAD.
So would you say he was punished?
No.
Okay. Is there anyone, Matt, that we're missing that was punished for taking steroids?
We got our listener of the year, Rosebud Ice Cream, has Jarrell Miller, kinda, and Jean Pascal. But that's like, I feel like those were like Jean Pascal. At least I feel like that was a while ago. Like we're in a different era of boxing than when Jean Pascal got punished.
That's true.
Jarrell Miller definitely got punished.
Yeah, Jarrell Miller definitely got punished. We do have
Jarrell
another
Miller,
guest on the show.
His career has never been the same.
Our former listener of the year, a former Bellini Award winner, host and founder of the longest running boxing show on YouTube, Mr. J.R. Bell, JBZ. What do you got to say on this?
Man, I can't believe this. Well, okay, wait. Let me preface this by saying this, right? The views of the Boxing Source are not necessarily the views of Brunch Boxing. Okay.
Okay.
Now we went through this thing here before when it came to Janibek Allen Holland, right? And the last time I spoke on it, I basically called out the World Boxing Organization for not stripping them. And basically having a whole little 12-page little explanation of what was going on with him. And then at the end of the day, they didn't say that they were going to strip him. They were just going to say that they will suspend him. And while suspending him, he could, have some off the record matches or whatever it is if he wanted to. Now it seems like they're going to lift the suspension, keep his status, and he's able to just be like, oh, almost like it never even really happened. This is a very bad look for the WBO. Very bad look. Because it's like EzRaw said, it's like Janibek ain't really, anybody that kind of like, as they say, protects. Like, come on. Like, this guy is not really a ticket seller like that. He's not really popular like that. And he basically ruined your opportunity to potentially have more money in the pocket if he had a fight against Errol Lara and won and became a unified champ. But since he screwed that basically ruined what you could have got as a WBO. And as a result, you're going to turn around and just say, oh, well, you know what? I see what happened, but we're just gonna, let you slide for now. Like that doesn't make any sense to me on that front.
Here's what y'all not getting. This is the first time where what people should be saying is he has a whole country behind him. Because this is what it means to have a whole country behind you. The Kazakh Professional Boxing Federation, they have made it so that the WBO went lenient on him, and it's a crying shame. Because let's be honest, he's their only boxer. He's their Triple G right
Yeah,
now. He's their only boxer.
yeah,
So they're going lenient on him because of that, and it's a damn shame. And if they lift the suspension like he believes, and go check out the article that I wrote on Boxing Social. I was the one that broke the news. Um, it's going to be a black eye for boxing in a sport that has many black eyes.
that'll be a black eye, bloody nose, a lost mouthpiece. Goddamn, like come on.
Yeah,
What do you think?
and I gotta
Hey,
say,
you know what the thing is too? It wasn't like the suspension that they had for Jedabek really was much of nothing because they basically said, hey, you know what? You could still have fights within your own country. You just can't have the WBO title on the line. So if Jedabek really wanted to stay active, he could still do that. He's
Yeah,
just gonna have the WBO title on the line.
yeah, but even that country was like, well, we're not going to go watch it. You know what I mean? So
yeah, and I gotta say, just one last thing. That whole 12-page report the WBO released, that was a whole bunch of who shot John.
Yeah, exactly. Oh man.
Free Janovic, man. Let's go.
there's
Oh
no,
my
there's no
How did,
reason.
Mike, how did Mike become the Janibek guy of the show?
There's no reason not to take steroids in the sport. I'll tell you that right now.
I think that's the biggest takeaway from this whole situation is that if you take steroids, if you have any sort of influence or you draw anything, you're fine.
Yeah,
I think this is the precedent for it because come on, y'all,
yeah, exactly.
yo.
Like if I was,
Damn.
yeah, I just say it. If you're a name, get on that stuff.
All right. Next up, we got another potential return to the ring. We have talks of Jesus Christ, I can't talk. Jermell Charlo speaking.
Come on, De La Hoya.
Yeah. Oh man, this is a family show. We're not supposed to make those kind of jokes. This is where we have Jermell Charlo in talks with Sebastian Fundora for a potential fight for the 154-pound titles. What do we think about this being Jermell Charlo's first fight? And do you think he should have a tune-up first?
I hate tune-ups. I'm completely against tune-ups, but probably would be the smartest thing to do. But I will say this right now: I do not see, and people will see. Maybe the people think that I'm double talking or something like that, but I don't see Jermell Charlo as a Keith Thurman situation. I don't. Jermell Charlo was still good when he left 154, and losing to Canelo at a higher weight class, I just doesn't make me knock him a bunch of points down and being like, oh, and I get he's been out the ring for a long time and everything, but from last time I saw him, he was still good. He never really took a beating. Even the Canelo fight, he didn't take a beating in it. I still think that's a very good fight. I think it's a very interesting fight, and I would not be stunned if Jermell Charlo won that fight. I wouldn't. Would I be stunned if he got beat up? No, I wouldn't be stunned either. You know what I mean? But all I'm saying is I think Jermell Charlo is not Keith Thurman. I knew Keith Thurman was past it. I had seen examples of him being past it. I knew that he had no shot in that fight. I do not. That is not like an S-type fight. That's not a 90-10. That's not an 80-20. You know what I mean? That's just not that type of fight. So I like that matchup. If that's for real and that's really going to happen, that's good stuff. But I don't really think you could really buy into anything that the Charles are going to get in the ring. I'm sorry. They're one of those things where retired until I see you in the ring. You know what I mean? Until I actually see you in the ring, because a lot of nonsense coming from those two brothers right now. So I'm just saying right now, that's a good fight. I hope it gets made.
Yeah, I hope it gets made too. There is a lot of nonsense coming from that camp. The biggest nonsense was this guy did the fucking interview where he said this with a goddamn parrot on his shoulder. Oh, it pissed me off so much. I was like, yo, get that fucking bird off his goddamn shoulder. What is going on here? But I love the matchup. I hope it happens. I hope it happens on the same timetable as Errol Spence versus Tim Zoo, so that you know what, maybe we could match the winners before the end of the year. Wouldn't it be crazy if we end the year with 2 fights from Errol Spence and Jamel Charlo?
That
That would be really crazy.
That would be really crazy.
I mean, a July August return isn't too crazy for Fundora. He got hit. He didn't really get hit in that last fight.
Well, he didn't get hit because the referee did not allow him to get hit when Keith
come on.
Thurman was just walking.
This dude right here.
I'm not gonna get into that again.
This dude. Let's move past that, man. Let's move past
Matt,
that.
you know what? I'm gonna throw Matt some slack here. I think the punches might have looked closer to landing on TV than they did in the arena.
Hey man, there was a boxing lesson that was getting ready to be taught.
Oh man.
Mike, what are your thoughts on a potential Jamel Charlo versus Sebastian Fundora fight? You were at the last Fundora event. How would you think this one would be? Do you think people would come out for it? And what type of fight do you see it being?
I don't see it. I don't see it 50-50 or 60-40. I'm actually like I just think coming back with the layoff and all that stuff's not going to be good for Mom.
Would you be excited for that event?
Of course. I love boxing events, especially something like that. I know even when I do know the outcome, I still want to see it. I still want to come to fruition. So I'm pretty sure a lot of people would want to see that one.
Beezy, do you have any thoughts on the Jamel Charlo versus Sebastian Fundora matchup?
It almost looks like they're making Sebastian Fundora be like the Randy Orton of boxing. They want him to be like a legend killer of sorts here, potentially match him up against Jamel Charlo. For Jamel, I have not watched his latest interview there, and not really whole inclined to do that. I've seen headlines of clips from it, and I'm like, he's not in a good spot. I don't know who he's going to have in his corner if he does come back. I don't know if it's Highland Williams or somebody within the Texas area that he'll get, but he's kind of said something about Derek James. He says something about Ronnie Shields. So it's like he's burning bridges with almost everybody in the state of Texas at this point. So I have to see what happens here in this juncture if he does come back and how he would look against someone like Sebastian Fundora.
Does Fundora deserve criticism though for fighting, like you said, guys from kind of a different era of him, right? Guys that look like they're on more of the way out, while having one of the more stacked divisions in boxing. You know what I mean?
Well, my thing is, if they can't get the fights, then why not go after these guys? At the end of the day, if it makes sense from a money perspective, then he'll go for it. They're trying to build him up. So if they feel like that's the fights they're available to him, then go for it. It's not like he's going to be fighting someone like a Virgil Ortiz Jr. anytime soon. So what else is going to be out there? What, Brandon Adams or something? It's not
their fault that Virgil's not available because
exactly.
His dumbass manager decided to try to circumvent his contract and move him over to Matchroom.
No,
it's not his fault.
A tougher fight right now for Fundora. I'm just curious what people's thought is on this. Jamel Charlo or Tellez?
No.
Charlo.
Mike?
Easily.
Charlo.
All right. So then it's a legit fight. Everybody's in the mind they're framed that it's a legit fight. It's not a Keith Thurman situation. It's a real fight. I think
stop. Now you're gonna get me going. Come on, Keith was about to get started, Ezra. He was.
I'm just glad he got started on his way to the hospital after that fight because it was a beating.
All right. Another advanced negotiation talk that we're hearing is AJ and Tyson Fury are in advanced talks to stage a 2-fight series. Matt, you used to host a very large British boxing group on Facebook. What are your thoughts on this matchup?
It's about damn time. They've been circling each other for the better part of half a decade. I remember when in 2020, Tyson Fury announced that murderous drug lord Daniel Kinahan got the fight done. And he made a whole video. Thank you to Daniel Kinahan. Fight's done. Tyson Fury, Anthony Joshua, let's go. You know? So I don't know what happened with that. The fight, it just never happened. Better late than never. I still want to see Wilder versus AJ. There's still matches that we need to see. Now, one of boxing's biggest mistakes, AJ's going to fight a tune-up first in July.
Yeah.
Oh boy! Oh boy! Oh boy! Oh boy! Oh
What?
boy!
Yeah, I don't get it. I don't get it. But yeah, let's see what happens. Let's see what happens. Look, it's a big fight. It's these guys to me are not. Maybe Fury still is, but they're not really in the conversation right now for like the top heavyweight spot. They're kind of like in their own thing, kind of like their little retirement tour era. You know, they're just in a different thing than the heavyweight division. I have no problem with that. I really enjoyed Wilder versus Chisora. Okay, that fight didn't mean anything for the heavyweight division. Didn't mean anything, but I thought it was fantastic. I loved it. I think that Fury versus Joshua would be fun. Unlike other divisions, so for some reason, heavyweight, I'm more accepting of like two older guys fighting. I don't know why guys past it fighting. I just think it's a fun fight. I really do. I'm all in on it. I hope they get it done. But like you said, Matt, the tune-ups, and especially for Joshua, those are risky. So I'm curious who they match him up with. His last tune-up was literally Jake Paul. So we're going to see who the hell else they're going to match him up with. But could be risky, man. Could be risky.
I don't think so. Before I get into that, I have to give a shout out to a listener that made a comment in reference to the last topic, saying that if Sebastian Fundora is Randy Orton, then Jamel Charlo is going to have to be Hulk Hogan or something like that. But this is kind of like the plan that they had for Anthony Joshua before, he had the tragic car accident. He was, kind of like scheduled to be back in the ring around February or March with the tune-up, and then have the Tyson Fury fight. So this is, something where it just goes along with the plan. Looks like it may have it on. Well, they're going to have it on DAZN because that's who he's on the contract with. But with whatever the guarantee is basically going to dictate who potentially his opponent is going to be. But it's not going to be somebody that it's going to be a big name or something like that. It's just going to be something like how he fought Jermaine Franklin or Robert Helenius or something like that. It'll be similar to that.
It might be on Netflix. I would put my money on that it is on Netflix.
You would lose your money. you would likely lose your money because
so you don't think that Netflix might pay amount of money to DAZN to get that fight?
No, I don't think so. That unless if it's something where they outbid
according to Eddie Hearn, the first fight is going to be on DAZN.
Yeah.
So okay, wait. The 2-fight series is the 2 fights between them. You're saying that?
Yes.
Okay,
between Fury and Joshua. Yeah, that's a 2-fight series. But before that, Joshua had the one-off, just like Fury had this one off on Netflix.
I'm gonna tell you guys right now, we're not seeing 2 of these fights. I misheard when you said that. We're not seeing 2 of those fights. You're gonna see 1, and then that's it. You're not seeing 2 of those. I'm telling you right now.
Why not?
Because I think that I think Joshua. I think there's a chance Joshua gets put to sleep in that fight. I don't think Joshua is gonna go be like, oh yeah, let's get back in with that guy. After I got,
I don't know that Fury can hurt Joshua like that to stop him, and that's why I don't think either of them is gonna get stopped. If anyone does, it'll likely be Fury because I think his chin shot, and AJ is more just. I think AJ has a style to fuck with Fury.
Fury's chin's more shot than Joshua's.
Not more shot, but I don't think that. But if we've only seen Joshua get hurt by big punchers.
Yeah,
I think we're underrated. Well, I mean, we've seen Fury have power before. Are we underrating Fury's power?
No, the thing is, he don't have one shot knockout or one shot concussion power. He has accumulation power, and here's the thing that I saw from Fury in his last fight. He's not completely what I say, sharp when it comes to defense. I don't know if he has to have a full camp with Sugar Hill Stewart or have an early start, but he needs to really work on his defense because, we've seen it in his last fight. We've seen it in his fights against Usyk. He'll have times where he'll look great on offense, but then fall asleep on defense. And when he falls asleep on defense, he gets caught, and that's where he gets knocked down by a number of the opponents that he's had.
This conversation alone, this is gonna be a massive fight. Just this conversation alone. This it. But people are gonna be over the board for these predictions. This is gonna be a good one. I'm loving it already. Better put Joshua in with someone light though for that warm up. Oh, we lost you. You're muted, Huey.
No, I don't like a tune-up fight for Joshua either. Moving on here, the last bit of news we have for the week is Richardson Hitchens vacating the 140-pound IBF title, moving up to 147. What are our thoughts on the move to 147 and him vacating the title?
I'm going to tell you, and maybe I see a lot of negativity and everything. I think this is the right move for Hitchens. I'm going to be honest with you. He was not a guy that his name alone was going to draw big fights. His name alone was going to put him in fights that people were going to pay attention to, and he wasn't going to sell like that. I think that he's a guy that would benefit from a Zuffa situation. He was a guy that benefit from a brand helping him be on that brand and pushing him along. So I don't think it's a bad move. I know everybody's been negative about it. I get it, but I think for him, he's a perfect guy to be on this kind of thing and to kind of get there kind of early. You know what I mean? So I think it's the right move. I think it's the right move. Nothing was going to happen for him at 140 that was going to be very exciting to anyone. I got to be honest with you. And even if it was a fight, some kind of competitive fight, I don't think people got behind it. So he would benefit from getting behind something with a little bit more of a machine behind the brand type of thing. Anyone
Matt,
else?
you have any thoughts on Richardson Hitchens?
I don't have any thoughts. I just think I'm reserving judgment until I see his next move.
I hope you're not going to be disappointed by his next move. We all know that this is as they say, a Keith Conley special. But the thing with Hitchens is that he kind of talked a lot while being the IBF champion, but in the last couple of encounters or fights or potential fights, the thing was he was complaining about the whole little rehydration thing. But if you had a unification fight or try to line up for a unification fight, you wouldn't have to worry much about that. But hey, that's neither here nor there. As far as him with Zuffa, again, that's a Keith Conley special. Word is that Richardson Hitchens has kind of burned a number of bridges within boxing. So as far as him going to Zuffa, that might be, as they say, the last chance saloon for him. So that we'll see what happens with that, and him moving to 147. I don't know. Maybe he gets some warm up fight and then potentially gets a good fight after that. But I'm not expecting much until I actually see something from him.
Richardson Hitchens and Teofimo Lopez in Zuffa boxing. Book it now.
Well, Hitchens and Lopez in Zuffa boxing because
they're gonna fight each other under the Zuffa banner is what I'm saying.
If they did that, then I would really be pissed off. I would really be pissed off because they could have did that without being under Zuffa boxing, and it could have been for the IBF and WBO super lightweight titles. So if they pull that off, I'm gonna be pissed. More pissed off than Lex Luger and taking off his t-shirt.
Mike, do you have anything to add on Richardson Hitchens before we move on to the breaking down what we have today and looking forward to the fights on the calendar?
Zero free Chanovic.
Yeah, but that's what I'm saying, though. But that's what I'm saying though. Is that no one has anything really thoughts about Richard Hitchens outside of Zuffa. The most attention this guy's gotten was joining Zuffa. So it's already a good move. That's what I'm telling you. It's this dude has no attention. So you can't say, oh, well, that's a bad move. But you never even talked about him. No one was talking about him. No one had any attention to him. That's a bad move. I hate to see it. No one would get pissed when he would make a fight. So I don't understand how it's a bad move. You never talked about it before. So it's like, it's so stupid. It's a dumb.
Ezra said you
It's
didn't
the
know what his
weirdest
moves
take.
were before this.
Yeah, no one gave a crap what he was doing
Nobody
before
even.
this.
Wait. So nobody knew Richard Hitchens while he was under Matthew Boxing or under
They
Day
didn't
Weather
care. They knew who he
Promotions.
was, but no one cared. Every time we bring a money back, who cares, right? I see that dude have a hell of a performance, right? Against who's the Australian kid he beat up? Damn it, he's a good fighter.
George Kambosos.
No. The other kid. The other one.
Oh God.
Paro.
Pero.
Paro. Yeah, Paro, right? And Paro was a good fighter. That's the people underrated. He's actually a pretty good fighter. And he has a hell of a performance against the guy. He blows him out. No one cared. No one cared. No one talked about it. Like, no one was like, oh, wow, what a performance. People do not care. The most attention he got was joining Zuffa. So already now, it's the best move he's ever made in his career. I'm sorry. It's the best move he's ever made in his career.
So if he loses, then if he loses, then he won't be relevant to anybody.
It's exactly. But listen, sometimes being the big fish in a small pond is all right. I'll tell you that right now. Grab that Zuffa belt, raise it above your head, and just be like, I'm the big fish in a small pond. It's so right to do that once in a while.
Savage comment from the listeners. He's got 8 knockouts, 1 more than Paulie. The 1 more than Paulie is what got me.
That is funny. That is hilarious.
Oh man.
All right, Ezra, your favorite part of the show, your time to shine, the EzRaw breakdown and report card. We have Jarrell Miller versus Lanier Pero.
Okay, listen.
We'll just talk about the main event here.
I'm going to tell you, listen, I kind of don't, and maybe, okay, well, real quick, just JBZ, just give me who do you have winning tonight? That's all I need, just winning. Who do you have winning tonight?
Ooh. I'll lean towards Miller.
Okay, this is what I'm talking about. I'm a little bit surprised by this, right? Miller has not looked good. Okay, Miller didn't look good last fight. Maybe his hair falling off has made people forget about that, but he looked not good in that fight. Okay, he looked not good in a fight that he was supposed to kind of like be showing off where he's at. Okay, and he did not look good in that fight. No, the hair fell off. He became a bigger name, a bigger star, and people talking about him. But I'm telling you right now, he's gonna have a hard time tonight. He's going to have a tough time. Errol's not a bad fighter. Like, he's not a bad fighter. He's actually an interesting heavyweight. And I think that he's definitely more closer to his prime than Miller is. He's more in his prime than Miller is, like by a margin. So I don't think this fight's close. I don't think this fight's going to be close. I think Errol's going to win a decision here. And I think he's going to do it in convincing fashion, like very convincing. I don't think there's going to be questions about it. I don't know this Miller thing of his last performance was not great. It was not great. He looked horrible in that fight. He looked horrible. Now I'm not just talking about his hair talking in the middle of the fight. Okay, so
can I ask you a question, Ezra?
Yes.
How did Lanier Pero look at his last fight?
Lanier Pero, I thought he looked all right against Thompson.
Yeah.
Yeah, I thought he looked all right. I don't see a guy. Would I missing something? Did he get dropped or something in that fight? Maybe I'm missing something.
It wasn't a good fight. He didn't look good.
Hold
on. Lanier Pero, hold on. God damn it.
Go ahead.
Lanier Pero hasn't looked good in his last 2 fights.
Okay. Now, when you say not good, do you mean was it a close, he barely won, or is he just not entertaining?
As in,
it was close.
Well, yeah, that for one. But the thing too is with Pero, he's like rated number 2 in the WBA. If you're going to be moving up the rankings like that, particularly if this is going to be your 14th professional fight, something has to stand out against guys that are supposed to be of a lower caliber than you. I forgot like the name of the fighter he had before Jordan Thompson, but the guy didn't really have that many fights on his record either. And for someone like Pero who had a quick start.
You talk about the Trellius Webster.
Yeah, the Trellius Webster. Yes.
Trellius Webster broke his jaw, by the way.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. So that's the struggles. Okay, then that's fine. Then we're both not looking. I think Pero's a fresher fighter than I think Miller. I think Miller's on the downside of it. I don't think he looked good last fight, and he was fighting a guy that I thought he was going in there supposed to beat. Now Pero was supposed to be Thompson. We know that, and the guy Webster probably went in there was supposed to beat him pretty wide. You're saying the fight was tighter. I didn't see that Webster fight, so I'm going in there. I didn't see the Webster fight. Thompson fight, I remember. I just remember not
You
being
got
able
his
to.
jaw broken, bro.
Okay, I hear you. I hear you. I'm just saying right now, I don't think Miller is. I don't think he's fresh. I think he's on the downside of it. And if the hair didn't fall off, I don't think anyone's talking about that performance. I don't think anyone's pushing him. I don't think anyone's doing anything with him. But his hair fell off. I think he loses tonight. I'm gonna take Perro to win the fight.
Wait, I have a question, Ezra. So you're saying that if he didn't have his hair falling off, then Matt and I wouldn't have had that conversation with his opponent.
So let me ask you a question, Ezra. What's your confidence level that Miller loses?
I'm gonna take a 5.
Wow.
You're going Perro. You're picking Perro at a 5?
Out of 5 in a decision.
Wow.
Wow. All right.
Matt, where are you
Matt,
at?
you gave us your pick earlier. I have it in the board, but tell the people.
Yeah, I'm taking Jarrell Big Baby Miller by decision. I'm at a 3 on that one. I think the fight could go either way.
Yeah, see, that's more of like where I'm at with it, as far as like the confidence level of 3.
And then, Ezra, what's your grade for this card?
I don't know, a D.
Yeah, I'm surprised he put it at a D.
Matt, what's your grade for this card?
I'll be honest, this is an A card to me.
That's what I was looking for.
What?
Bro,
Oh,
I love this matchup. Very, very interesting matchup. Crossroads fight. It got a former brunch boxing guest, Frutis Rojas, on the card. I like the Miguel Migueno versus Alan Chavez fight. I want to see how Barrientos looks. And this Nishant Dev guy is always must see.
I want to see that Barrientos fight also. Yeah, I'm interested in that one. That's gonna be a
it's a good card for what it is. I mean, it's not a blockbuster card, but it's a good card.
All right. And then, Ezra, we had a few fight announcements as well. So we're just going to get your report card on a few of these. Biggest one that we heard this week was Schaff versus Ray Ford happening down in Texas. What's your grade? What's your report card for this?
A+. That's a great matchup. That's the matchups of those fights that you want to see, and then you would be stuck with like, no, he's fighting another tune-up, and they would never meet up. These guys meeting up, great, real heat in that fight, real heat. I love it, real rivalry right there.
The man you have called the best American fighter since Bud retired, Bam Rodriguez versus Antonio Vargas.
Like I said, Bam's gonna be great on a curve. I'm gonna grade him on a curve too. It's a B.
Okay, and that's going to be happening down in Glendale, Arizona, at the Desert Diamond Arena. Also, we have Shane Mosley Jr. announced to fight Serhiy Bohachuk.
That's a C. Bohachuk is not look great. He's kind of like, to me, with their excitement was with him at the level he was fighting, it's kind of declined a little bit. I did like the Bultia fight. That was a very good fight. Mosley was in a way tougher fight than people thought. Ramos was in a way tougher fight than people thought he was going to be against Mosley. But Mosley, there's a limit to him, how good he is. We've seen it. He's getting a little bit older. I imagine Bohachuk wins that fight pretty easily, but it's whatever.
All right. We have Amari Jones versus Vincenzo Gualtieri. I believe that one's happening out in California. Mike, I believe, is going to be in attendance for that one.
Amari Jones is building his way up to like contender status. It's not an exciting fight, I'll be honest with you.
All right. Keyshawn Davis versus Nahir Albright.
I actually like this fight. I think people were a little bit more negative than I thought they would be against it. I'm going to give this A-. I think there's real heat here. There's a storyline here. And Albright's coming off a good performance against Frank Martin, right? Where he could have got the W there. I think he's a good fighter. I thought that their first fight was a little tougher. Maybe the people forget how that was a little bit tougher fight for Keyshawn. I think Keyshawn, though, has looked fantastic. And lately, he's looked really, really good. So he could be this could be a real good performance by him.
All right, and then I did miss one.
That card could be a B, solid B, A-, man. I'm gonna just say that. You got some
rumors for me for the undercard?
No, the undercard is basically announced, man.
What is it?
Like you have Brian Norman Jr. there on the co-feature. You got Kelvin Davis versus Pete Dobson on there. Um, so that's going to be, the one that I'm looking at is the Kelvin Davis and Pete Dobson, because that could really like decide where Kelvin Davis is at this point of his career.
And then Jan
So
Santana
yeah,
versus
Jan
Christian
Santana.
Chacon.
Okay.
Yeah. So that, yeah, I'm really, high on that card. Definitely looking ready or looking forward to that. Yeah, Jan Santana versus Christian Cruz is going to be, on that. So yeah, Davis versus Dobson, Santana versus Christian Cruz there, and of course with the rematch with Keyshawn in the hero break. So definitely looking forward to it.
Okay.
And then, Matt, do you have any thoughts? I did overlook one card for the breakdown and score and report card. So EzRaw, I'm going to go back to that. But Matt, do you have any thoughts on the cards and fights that we just listed off?
I think I love Oshaki Foster versus Raymond Ford. That's an A plus.
Mm-hmm.
Dan versus Antonio Vargas. That's an A plus for me also. I do like Antonio Vargas. I think what they're doing with that belt is shameful, but it is what it is. It's a good matchup, and I think he's a live dog in there. Shane Mosley Jr. versus Sergey Boychuk. I love me a good gulag fight. That's an A for me. Amari Jones
Hey.
versus Vincenzo Gualtieri. That's about a B plus fight. I'm not high on Gualtieri, but this is a good step up to see what Amari Jones is and if he is basically a real contender at middleweight. And then the Keyshawn Davis versus Nahir Albright. I'm like, with that, but I'm hoping that the atmosphere is gonna save the fight. I love the storyline, but the fight itself, I don't really care for too much. So I'll give that about a B plus also. So
Yeah, you think it's
I'll
more
go
about
for it.
like Keyshawn, because Keyshawn should be against like a higher rated opponent.
Yeah,
Yeah,
because he
that's
was
how I feel
talking
about
all
the
that
fight.
shit. Like to me,
Yeah,
you can't talk like that much amount of shit to a lot of fighters, and then you end up revisiting Nahir Albright fight. If anything, we should be seeing Nahir Albright versus Calvin Davis part two.
yeah, yeah. We really should.
Should we?
Yeah,
After a Frank Martin draw, be like, let's go back to Calvin Davis?
Yeah,
I mean, yeah,
I think we should be seeing Frank Martin number 2, if anything. But
I agree.
Yeah.
But that's not happening, buddy.
I know either is Calvin Davis.
Yeah, the Frank Martin rematch is what makes most sense. EzRaw, the fight that I missed is a Pro Box card we have next week before we will be live again. Senbatar Erdenbot versus Kobe Abridi.
Wow. I got to be honest with you. This seems like a Matt
Hold on,
special.
no. Hold on. I want Jay Beasy to talk about this card because of all the people on here. Jay Beasy is the most familiar with Kobe Abridi.
yeah. So this one is going to be, key for Cobia, because we're gonna see like where he's at here in his career up to this particular point. You know, we've seen him be like a featherweight contender, but didn't necessarily get to that level where he could, fight for a world title. He did have that close loss to, um, like,
Iron Bar.
yeah,
Tug.
yeah,
King Tug.
yeah, King Tug. And since then, he's kind of, had some fights that kind of been floating around. His last one was over in Barbados, so he has had a fight in his home country of Barbados. But here, it's more about like what he's going to do for, I would say, his next few fights.
Now let me
Um,
ask you a question, Jay Beasy.
yeah. Ask
What's
the
he
question
still
here
with Coach
first.
Floyd?
No, he's been gone with Coach Floyd. He's been gone with them. That was what, 2023. So he's there with Coach Barry Hunter over Headbangers, man. Uh,
Okay.
so so he will be, having this fight, and then we'll see what if he gets through this and gets a win. Then he might be on a PBC card or something like that. I don't know, but we got to see what happens here first with Cinnabon. So
Is this a good? Should people be tuning in? This is gonna be a good fight. Should be.
Yes.
uh
Yes.
yeah, they're gonna be tuning in. Yeah, they're gonna be tuning in. They're gonna tune in for him, and then they're gonna see Francois Scarborough there in the co-feature. As
As I
Matt
call
say,
Francois.
Francois. Francois. Yeah. So, I like to, see what happens there, and you're going to see a number of the fighters that were on that last card that they had on, January 30th. So,
Yeah, and you're
uh,
gonna see my guy David Whitmire.
yep, Dave Whitmire. The
Yeah,
body snatcher.
it's a good card. It's a good card for what it's a good local DMV card.
Yeah. So you got Dave Whitmire, Ben Johnson, Rihanna Rios is going to be on there. Jordan Roach, Eric Hernandez. So you have a lot of the local fighters that'll be featured on this card.
Good.
Yeah. This is for guys who are really in the weeds with boxing. This is not for you, Ezra.
Yeah, I'm you know me. I try to keep my head above the
Yeah,
weeds. You're
yeah.
on mute.
This wouldn't be
Hey,
this wouldn't be something that we would send EzRaw to cover.
yeah, I'm gonna watch
Yeah.
these fights, but I was not familiar with that. So Jay Breezy, really appreciate your
I like
breakdown.
to
and
look
thank you
above
for
the
that
shrubbery
information.
when it comes to boxing.
Oh man, now it's time to make the people some money. Ezra, what do you have for the people? Do you have anything for the people?
There's not a lot, but I'll take Peril by decision. You know what? What's the money line just for Peril? Because it seems like might be the underdog.
Give me a second. I'll take a look. I wasn't prepared for this.
Peril is plus 130.
Take him. Just take him. Money line. Peril 130.
Matt, how are you making people money?
I gotta say, before Matt bets, I don't think I've hit other than one bet this whole year. I don't think I've hit on anything else. Maybe two. Like we have this segment. Let me tell you something. Has been a disaster. Like we're not talking about it enough. I am not hitting on absolutely anything. But let me take Peril this money line today.
All right. Listen, guys, forget about boxing today.
All right.
It's about basketball. Take the Oklahoma City Thunder to cover the 9.5-point spread against the Phoenix Suns. Also, take the New York Knicks to cover the 1.5-point spread today against the Atlanta Hawks. Very simple 2-leg parlay plus 263.
Can I say something? And maybe we could start a new segment on here. This is Ezra, turns the wrong direction and goes into another sport real quick. I'm just going to tell you right now, what's happening with the Lakers right now. More importantly, what's happening with LeBron James right now just hold on. If there was ever a conversation, right, or ever a debate on like, Kevin Durant or LeBron James, let that all be done now. Don't ever bring that up to me. Don't ever say that out loud. Don't ever say that, because what's happening with Kevin Durant and the Rockets, to me, really just symbolizes everything with Kevin Durant his whole career. And what's happening with LeBron James is, wait, hold on. I'll let you counter. But let me, I'm steering the ship. Let me steer the thing. He said, let me steer it. Let me steer it. Let me steer it real quick. Let me steer it real quick. I'm just steering it real quick. Let me steer it. What's happening with LeBron James is something you'll never see again. I was telling you right now, the guy's been dominant since he's been dominant since a teenager, and he's dominating to his 40s. He's been dominant since a teenager and into his 40s. I'm gonna say right now, I don't care what anyone says. This is the best basketball player to ever play basketball.
Reminds me of
LeBron James is. He's the best basketball player to ever play basketball. And if he's still trying to say all this nonsense about him or all these negative, there's nothing negative to say about the guy. I'm sorry. There's nothing negative to say about the guy. There isn't. Okay? He is dominating the sport. You put that guy in his prime on any team, they were a championship contender. On any team, the worst team in the league, they were a championship contender if he was on the team. This dude is dominant. I've been enjoying this playoffs. I'm going to tell you something. We're going to get knocked out the next round. I'm telling you right now. We know this. This win, though, means a lot this round. It does. And it's going to mean a lot about LeBron James' career and just who this guy is. And I'm telling you right now, the second best player on our team is Luke Kennard. I'm just saying that right now. The second best player on the Lakers team right now is Luke Kennard. And this dude is about to sweep the Rockets with Kevin Durant and a team that was supposed to be a championship contender. I don't care what anyone says. That was supposed to be a championship contender team. That team is way more talented than the Lakers are right now. And this dude is going to sweep them 4-0.
Matt,
Are you done?
do you want to talk about this?
Bro, here's the thing. I don't know who Ezra's talking about. There's been no Kevin Durant LeBron conversation. LeBron has been in the conversation for greatest player of all time. Kevin Durant has never been in that conversation.
There
So it's
was
kind of
talks.
stupid that
It was
Ezra.
never talks.
There
That's why I
was
don't know where.
talks. There was
He
talks.
made this up. He made this up in his
There
head,
was
man.
talks. Here's where people would say who was better. They would say who was
I
better.
know what Ezra's talking about. Ezra's talking about the 2 or 3 years that Durant was in Golden State, and people were saying that Durant was better in that moment.
And he wasn't.
But never
but not all
overall
time.
better player. No one ever thought
Yeah,
Durant
but
was a
not
better
all time,
career or
Ezra.
better
No, but
talent.
don't matter. Even in that moment, he wasn't. He was just on the better team.
No, what I thought that's just not true.
It
Anyway.
is true. It's
Yeah,
100%
I don't know about that, buddy.
Hold on,
It's
Mike.
100%
Do you have any?
And if you go with Kevin Durant when he went to other teams and the disaster that always was with all these other teams with a lot of talent, that just shows you that who was really pushing for the Warriors. It wasn't Kevin Durant. He wasn't the main piece there. I'm sorry to tell you right now, he wasn't the main piece there.
Mike, can you make the people some money today?
I can. I can. Pistons. Mine. What's the spread?
I don't know that. I can look at
Whatever the
it.
spread is,
Hold on.
take it.
I know the spread. I'm here, Mike. I'm here for you,
man.
buddy.
Thank you. Give me
All
the
right.
give me the
The
Knicks.
2.5 point favorite.
The Pistons on the money line is minus 134. Orlando is plus 114. The Pistons are favored by 2.5 points at minus 105. The Magic is plus 2.5 at minus 115. Over under is 215.5 points.
Take the spread, Detroit, and take the Knicks.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
All right. Now, Matt, I'm reading through this rundown here, and I'm reading through the first quick hit. Did you expect Ezra to be able to comment on this? Or were you expecting to be here?
I was expecting Ezra to be a professional.
All right,
Let's do
Ezra,
it.
here we go. I want you to grade MVP's recent signings.
All right.
Oh man.
No, each one.
Yep.
Individually.
Argentina's WBO, WBA, and IBF light flyweight champion Evelyn Bermudez. 22-1-1 with 8 KOs.
The Bermuda's Triangle. Yeah, I'm gonna give that a B+.
WBC light flyweight belt holder Lord Juarez, 39-4, 5 knockouts.
Wait, real quick. I don't think you should call any woman the Bermuda Triangle.
Come on. Let's get, what's the next one?
Lord Juarez, 39-4, WBC light flyweight belt holder.
You know, listen, she's got a lot of mileage on her. But let me tell you something right now. There's a lot of fight and grit in there. I like that. There's some interesting matchups. Let me give that a B.
All right.
Okay, so firstly, the first woman Ezra called the Bermuda Triangle. The next woman Ezra said she got a lot of mileage on her. This is going in a very bad direction, Ezra.
Oh
Ezra,
no,
you better hope
this
your wife
ain't
doesn't
this
listen to this
can't
episode
be
of stuff.
good.
Next one.
IBF super flyweight titleist Irma Garcia, 26-5-1.
Listen, Irma has
She's
always
44
been
years old.
Irma's never been afraid of being a dogfight. And let me tell you something. She's 44, but those ain't dog years. I'm gonna tell you that right now. There's still some fight in her, and there's still I think some competitive matches that can be made.
Mexican junior featherweight contender Maeli Flores, 13-1-1.
Listen, Maeli is she's a bright spot in a division full of dogs. You know what I mean? She's a bright spot, and I think that she could do some things. That's smart to go south of the border to expand your audience. I think it's a smart move.
All right, WBA mandatory challenger for the bantamweight title, Brittany Sims, 9-3, 5 KOs.
Listen, they say that there's no stoppages in women's boxing. Well, the Sims is letting you know that if there's an opponent ready to go, she's going to take them out. With her KO rate, you said 9. She has 9 fights with 5 KOs.
9 wins, 5 KOs.
Let me tell you, that's over 50%, and her fights are ended by stoppage. That's come on. In women's boxing, might as well be Mike Tyson.
All right, and then top junior featherweight prospect Ayana Verduzco, 7-0 with 1 knockout.
Don't call me Verducci. Verduzco is. Let me tell you something. What they need is new talent. Women's boxing needs new talent. They need new prospects, new people to watch. I'm very excited about that signing.
Ezra, do you know Ayana Verduzco?
Yana Verduzco? I mean, who does it?
Because clearly Huey does it.
No, I don't.
Bro, that is our favorite fighter, Right Hook Roxy. Come on, man.
Oh,
What we
right,
doing here?
Roxy. Come on, Huey.
Hey, Ezra, you know what? You started that segment shaky. You had a strong middle, and then you ended by crashing.
I didn't think I crashed. I thought that was
You
solid.
didn't know it either.
Right Hook Roxy? Well, who calls her Verduzco? Everyone calls her Right Hook
That's
Roxy.
okay. It's Right Hook Roxy,
That'd
man.
be like someone.
Do I need to post some
Ezra,
more
you know
weigh-in
what that would be like?
videos?
That'd be like being like,
Remember
who's
her.
Jerron Ennis? They call him Boots.
Yeah.
Bro, if you say Boots
Yeah,
anywhere,
maybe I need to post some more weigh-in videos so you guys can remember her.
everyone knows who Right Hook Roxy is.
All right. Well, next up in the quick hit segment here, Lawrence Okoli tests positive for PEDs. Ezra, thoughts?
You know, I was always comparing him to Alistair Overeem because he went from like Alistair Overeem was 205, and then I don't know where he was 270 pounds when he went to the heavyweight division, and that's what Okoli did. And I used to be like, this is strange that you just skyrocket to 270 pounds, like out of nowhere. You just skip divisions. You just go to heavyweight division. You're automatically the biggest person in the division. Alistair Overeem would piss hot. Okoli pissed hot. Those, you know what? I was ahead of my time with that comparison.
Matt? Oh, hold up. Matt, we lost Matt. Let me add him back. Matt, are you back with us?
Yeah, I'm here. I'm
right.
sorry. I was watching a Right Hook Roxy video.
You're good. What are your thoughts on Lawrence Okoli testing positive?
Hey, man, get him out of here. He was boring anyway. Get him out of here. That bastard.
JBZ, Mike, you got any thoughts on Okoli?
He basically screwed up a potential shot to be in a heavyweight title picture because he was supposed to fight Tony Yoka this weekend. I think a number of people would have favored him to beat Tony Yoka.
Everyone.
And then after that, yeah. And then after that, he would be in line for maybe a fight against the interim champion there for the WBC there, or maybe get something lined up with the winner of the Dubois versus Fabio Wardley fight. But now having this, yeah, he's basically toast at this point.
Guys, what are we doing? We just had this conversation. Nothing's gonna happen to him.
Hey, you know that he posted. He already posted his excuse. He already posted an excuse saying that, hey, this stemmed from his elbow surgery.
Yeah, they're gonna be like,
surgery,
you know
man.
what? That was we see that the medical thing he might have
the medical records.
The doctor signed off on it, and it's good to go. And Tony Yoka's not gonna get a fight anymore, and he'll fight someone else. Guys, nothing's gonna happen here. Nothing ever happens.
Yeah, basically, he was gonna say that. Like, if they clear Okoli, then they're not gonna resurrect this fight. They're gonna have Okoli in like a bigger matchup if it's not gonna be against.
This is done. The only one that got punished here was Yoka. That's it. That's the only guy that got punished here. The only guy that get punished when you piss hot is the opponent. That's the only person that suffers. They either take a beating for someone that's physically enhanced, or they just don't get the fight and they don't get the payday. That's the only consequence that happens to these things.
Yeah, like Okoli is ranked #1 in the WBC. Tony Yoka was just nowhere in the radar. So it's like, hey, he hasn't had this fight. Oh, well, too bad, Tony Yoka.
Yeah, that's it.
All right. And then the last item we have on the rundown for today, Kyron Davis is signed with Rising Star and is set to top a June show in Philadelphia. Ezra, any thoughts on this?
Rising Star's Cornflake Lamana's promotion, just so you know.
No, I don't have any thoughts on this.
Matt?
Me neither. I don't have any thoughts.
I don't have any thoughts on it.
Anything?
Yeah. Well, I'll pass.
All right. Well, that's what we got on the rundown here today. Matt, was there anything you wanted to tell the people before we head out of here today?
No, just go read my articles, man.
What did you publish this week for the people?
Social. Oh, let me tell you something. And this is not me just to my own horn, but I feel like I wrote an excellent article on boxing's Infinity War. Okay, we've been talking about boxing's Infinity War for the better part of a year now. We were the first ones to be talking about this. Shout out to Luke Thomas for acknowledging that. And I think it is reaching its end game right now. We're officially in the end game. So I think it's an article that you guys need to read. You need to read the article to see what's really going on in the sport of boxing and why it's happening. Because more important than the what is the why. Okay, I try to give you guys the reason why these things are happening. Also, we have an interview with the Savage Mike Kimball, who will be returning June 6th in Waterbury, headlining his own show. Mike the Savage Kimball is an MMA fighter that is also a boxer. He fought in Bellator and was very successful in Bellator for those who are familiar with Bellator. And he is in boxing. He was originally trained by legendary Connecticut fighter Bad Chad Dawson. He has a new trainer now, but he still keeps in touch with Chad. It's a very, very interesting interview that you guys might want to check out. Also, this week, we're going to have Grudge Boxing, Boots on the Ground, David Benavidez versus Zerto Ramirez. We got EzRaw and Huey that's going to be out there for Fight Week. It's going to be a lot of dope stuff that we're going to bring to you guys this week. So make sure you guys go check that out and make sure you support us, support the platform. And I'm sure EzRaw has some good things coming out for you guys this week.
Matt, before we hand it off to EzRaw, tell the people where they can support you.
Oh, come on, man. You know, y'all can always hit the Cash App. The Cash App go crazy. Hit the Cash App. $ is that your face. You know, y'all can always do that. And go subscribe to all our shit, man. Hit us up. Show some love. We're over 1,000 on YouTube now, finally. And we shot past that, actually. And we're moving towards the next goal. We're still top 5% of all podcasts. Yeah, we're still top 5% of all podcasts on Spotify, Apple Podcasts. You know, listen scores going up every month. So, you know, we definitely appreciate it. The Twitter is always popping. The website is popping. The Instagram is popping. We're just a little engine that could, basically.
Matt,
so you're going to close the Oh, go ahead.
Yeah, we got to do a midweek show this week because the Inoue Junto is going to be Saturday morning, so we got to do a midweek show just dedicated to Inoue versus Junto.
Okay.
Okay.
We can do that Wednesday. We can do that Wednesday or Thursday night.
I love the enthusiasm. I will be dropping an Inoue. I want to do the Inoue breakdown tonight.
Hold on, EzRaw. You're going to close the show, so let's save yours for last. JBZ, what do you have for the people?
All right, so on the boxingsource.net, I want y'all to check out the article titled "Will DAZN's latest push for boxing work in the U.S.?" It's pretty much an in-depth explanation of what's going down with DAZN, the moves that they have made over the past few months, and what their overall subscriber base is for the U.S. and if they can get things done in order to increase the subscriber base within the U.S. There'll be more moves on the boxingsource.net soon, and also within the next there's going to be some time, but within the next month and a half, I'm planning on going somewhere so that I could get an interview with a very high profile fighter. Can't necessarily say who it is yet, but that's the plan. And yeah, the Boxing Source trading cards are going international. There have been people that have requested packs outside of the U.S., so they have been shipped outside of the U.S. and available for international shipping.
You're on mute.
Yeah, Ezra, what do you have? What now? Tell the people send the people home and tell them what they have to look forward to from you.
I have right now currently out a Junto Nakatani breakdown from his last fight against Hernandez on our YouTube right now. Go check that out. Just kind of goes over like just the way he kind of sets up his stuff, just certain things I noticed that he struggles with, certain things that I noticed that what he does is like positive. And I'm going to have the Inoue breakdown I'm going to do tonight. I'll have tomorrow morning. Then I'll do a full breakdown for them too. That's coming out. Like I said, the midweek show we got to do for the big fight weekend this weekend. We got Benavidez, Zurdo, Junto versus Inoue. Can't get any better than that, really. So we'll be providing more content for that and breakdowns for Benavidez versus Errol as well. Thank you, guys. This has been a great show. We had today the greatest producer in boxing media, Huey. We had the host with the most, the greatest host in boxing media in Matt. We had Jay Beasy join us, and Bellini winner. You know what I mean? There's a lot of Bellini nominated people, but he's the guy that got over the line. He's a Bellini winner. We had Mike join us from his garage. Let me tell you something. He was more motivated than ever. I know that Mike was providing points in there that's just you could not bring unless you're in the garage. I got to tell you right now, no distractions. Mike usually a little bit distracted, not always 100% focused on the prize. Today he was focused on the prize. I thought it was great. Thank you guys for joining us. This has been a fantastic show. We'll be back this week with some more content. Be back next weekend to talk the post-fight of Inoue Junto, pre-fight for Benavidez Zurdo. It's going to be fantastic. Can't wait. Thank you guys. We are...